Yo, what up, my tubers? We back for some more drafting here on Arena. Just went 0-4 in the Kamigawa champs, so I guess a product of, you reap what you sow, as they say. Didn't really practice very well for it. Didn't think, so I played red-black in Alchemy, and I don't think that deck was particularly good. Went 0-3 there, and then lost the first round of Historic, where I was playing blue-white auras, which I do think is a good deck in the format. But went to game 3 every single round. There's not going to be any coverage of that. Magic is doing their own coverage. But yeah, I went 0-4 drop. So went and ran a Rage 10k just now. So if I'm a little bit flush, apologies. But let's just jump right in and do some drafties. What do we got here? A Mech Titan Core. I hate that card. Hate it with a passion. It's fun. It's cool. But don't think it's good. This pack actually kind of sucks. There's nothing I'm super thrilled first picking, so I'm just going to take the Swiftwater Cliffs. Then I don't have enough time to really go over anything, but I don't think that pack was like particularly good. Okay, this second pick has a bunch of good options though. Scrap Welder and Reactor are fine. I don't think you should take them necessarily early. I think the real cards, the real choices in this pack are just going to be like the Moon Circuit Hacker and the Modern Age. So both of those are pretty darn good. Hacker goes into generally more aggressive decks or decks where you can get in some evasive creatures. Modern Age is just a solid blue card that goes into all of my decks, so I think I'm going to take that here. I could see taking the Hacker over the Modern Age, and if you really wanted to, you could take one of these red cards. But again, I do not think the red cards are better than the blue cards here, so I'm going to stick with the blue. Get past a Brilliant Restoration. Another one I don't particularly care for. Had I taken one of the red cards, Songshaper would be fine here. But again, like I said, the red cards weren't as good as the blue cards there. And I think we all know what I'm going to choose. I'm going to take the Tanuki. I do like Songshaper. If you're going to end up in the artifact deck, but I think Tanuki is by far the best card in that pack, and it's not particularly close. One of the nice things about drafting the way I do in this format is that you often can just take the best card out of every pack, you know, even if it's in a weird color. Okay, that's kind of interesting though. So, and I'm not saying it's right, but we would have been rewarded if we had gone and started taking those artifacts. Had I taken the Reactor or the Scrap Welder, would have taken maybe the Songshaper, and then we're getting an Enthusiastic Mechanaut here. I could definitely just take the Mechanaut now. I think that's a pretty good sign. I have passed a little bit of some awkward signals, but Mechanaut, it's really, really good in the blue-red deck, of course. The artifact deck. I'm not taking the Mechanaut, I'm taking the Thornwood Falls or the Preserver. But yeah, no, I think the Mechanaut's the best card here. It's close with the land though, but we'll go ahead and hedge a little bit, take the mech, see if maybe that's the place we want to go. Yeah, and then we're just going to take a Geothermal Kami here as the best card, for sure. 4 is fine in the red decks. I don't particularly care for Mobilizer Mech, but Kami for sure is the best card there, so take that, see what we do. Yeah, just take a Fang of Shigeki now over a Blossoming Sands. Alright, and might just go ahead and pitch this Mechanaut to the sideboard. So we get an Uncharted Haven versus a Roadside Reliquary. Let's go ahead and just take the land. Both lands are good, though. I do like Reliquary, but I don't like it as much in my super heavy color builds. As we pick up a Jungle Hollow here. Now, there's another Songshaper, there's a Koi, there's a Virus Beetle, more Boar. I don't think the Boar is a huge signal. And just take Jungle Hollow. It's close, though. Because I bet you a lot of those red cards are going to wheel. So taking the Songshaper is not crazy, but I think taking the Jungle Hollow still makes a lot more sense with the direction that we've started to go. Yeah, I feel like I've taken basically the best card of the pack every single time. So I don't regret this at all. We're gonna start seeing the wheels now. What did I first pick? Swiftwater Cliffs. I think the pack had a bunch of white cards, if I recall correctly, so... Oh, wait, what? I could have sworn we opened a bunch of white cards. Am I wrong? I guess all the white cards got taken? Interesting. Got a couple of good green cards here and another Song Shaper. If I take the Song Shaper, maybe there's a chance that I end up wheeling the Scrap Welder or the Reactor. These are better cards, but if this is open, this is going to make more sense. Punished. Okay. I'll just take the Jukai Trainee. So the Scrap Welder and the... Or is it called Scrap Welder? Scrap Welder and the Reactor got taken. And now I don't expect to see much more red out of this. None of these are all that impressive. Trainee is a good blocker in the early game. Familiar's solid. And could still fit the role of the artifact deck. This is going to be a little bit awkward, though. We're probably not going to see much blue-red again in the next pack, but then we're going to see a lot of it again in pack 3, so... We'll see if this ends up working how we want it to. But, again, I don't regret going this direction at all. As we get a Brute Suit here. Over Futurist Sentinel for the potential artifact deck. Wield one of the emergences, that was good. Yeah, pretty darn open still. And we have good fixing. Or rather, we have quite a few pieces of fixing. Maybe not good fixing, but quite a few pieces of fixing should we open anything in basically any color. Fell down to, I think, rank 4 now, so let's try to salvage some stuff. Ooh, as we open, damn, some good artifact cards. We opened a Mindlink Mech, Patchwork Automaton, Keiko Yamazaki. Well, we'll take the mech here. It's going to be good in both directions, whatever we choose to end up. Passing Automaton kind of sucks, but the mech is just good in anything. Generous Visitor versus Prosperous Thief versus Tamiyo's Completion. What's my enchantment count at? 4 right now? Generous Visitor has a lot of upside, but it can often just not do enough. I think the safer choice is just taking like the Thief or the Completion. We're always going to end up running Completions in our deck. I think I'll just do that instead. Assassin's Ink here. Probably not taking that. A couple more green cards, but we don't really want more 4s. Could just take Mnemonic Sphere, I guess, but nah. Preserver's good. Invoke the Winds. Okay, it's going to be hard to cast, but I'm going to take it. Now Grafted Growth gets a lot more appealing, and yeah, that's certainly the most powerful card in the pack. Sure. Okay, Azusa's Many Journeys, Commune with Spirits, Careful Cultivation, all decent choices here. Given the number of 4-drops I have now, I think the Cultivation makes a little more sense. The problem with the Journeys is that you need to have the extra lands in order to actually get the ramp benefit, you know, and you don't always have that. There's a Network Terminal versus a Shrine Steward here. Shrine Steward has a couple of hits already. 3, yeah. We have the Completion, the Emergence, and that Cultivation we just took. Kind of dig taking that, too. Another Geothermal Kami. Master's, Rebuke. Let's go with the Punch here this time, as it doesn't look like our deck is necessarily a geothermal deck. I don't know how many Song Shapers we've seen now, but reminiscent of that one deck where I had 8 Song Shapers in it. Do we have any combos with the Mind Link mech here? No, we don't have any. Need to get some Puzzle Makers is what we need to do. Puzzle Makers with Mind Link mech is really nice. Gets a lot of scry value. Sadly, nothing worth splashing right now. I mean, I'll admit, if I had just jumped into blue-red artifacts from the start, it might have been a little bit better. Like, the overall card quality would be lower, but the deck would probably have more synergy than what I have here. As we get a Planner Incision. We're not taking Coiling Stalker, right? Is this even good in our deck, though? Kind of medium. Tales of Master Sashiro on the wheel. Same thing with a Decoy. Alright, we'll take the 5-drop. Yeah. Wish I just... I mean, again, I don't think taking the Scrap Welder or the... what was it? Reactor made sense. But I could have probably jumped... No, I did actually, didn't I? I took the Mechanaut after that. Yeah, I don't even know. I think it was, what, the Modern Age over one of those red cards? No, that... I think we did it right, and we just maybe got a little bit punished. Wow, okay, Generous Visitor Wield, though? Pick 10, and we're at 8 enchantments now? Maybe I'm a genius after all. Maybe this is going to work out. I mean, 8 enchantments is already enough for the Visitor, but you definitely want to pick up quite a few more if possible as we get another Emergence. Okay. Yeah, I would really like to get some more ways to go from 2 to 4. I know I passed out Azusa's, but... Get a Commune with Spirits here. Alright, one more pack to go. How are we looking so far? Just okay. Removal-wise, we have Invoke, Completion, and a Rebuke. We opened a Kami of Transience. That's a pretty good one to open, man. Yeah. That card is just so good. The number of times I've played this on turn 2 and just won with it is actually crazy. Passing a couple of good green cards, a few good green cards here, but Kami is our slam dunk. And now we definitely want to look for some more enchantments, so I'm just going to slam this Hacker here for sure. Hacker's not great in our deck currently, but it's an enchantment, it's a creature, and it can give us some value. Sorry, Geothermal. Good start. Good start to the third pack. As pack number 2 wasn't the most kind. Another Generous Visitor. The last one wheeled, but if I don't take it here, I'm only taking a Puzzle Maker, which is good. I did say I wanted to get it with the Mind Link mech, but now we can just take every single enchantment we see after taking the second Generous. Because I think our enchantment count is still a little bit low. Like 10 is fine, but now we want to get upwards of like 13 or 14 if possible. So now the Bearer of Memory here becomes much more interesting, where normally I wouldn't really want to take that. With 2 Generous Visitors, I think it's definitely worth it over, say, the Specialist or the Octopus. Same thing here. Nice, nice, nice. Archer and Grafted Growth seem okay. I think we actually want to get the Grafted Growth for the Invoke the Winds fixing. I love Bamboo Grove Archer. I think it's one of the best 2-drops in green in this format. But I want to be able to cast my spells, so let's take the growth there. Pretty late companion, but we have a Shrine, so nice. Another 2-mana enchantment. This is looking good now. My blue's a little bit sketch. Namely, just that Invoke the Winds, but it looks good overall. Ooh. I don't think... Well, let's see here. Is it possible I'm cutting the Geothermal Kami? And just running another Emergence in its place? I mean, I guess I'm not playing anything else, so maybe. Let's see, I think I'm also cutting like the trainee here. We have better 2-drops and that doesn't have any synergies. I mean, what we really could do is just cut a lot of the blue. Maybe just splash like mech and completion actually makes a lot of awkward sense. A 3rd generous visitor! And now I have to pass Season of Renewal? Well, now I need to run every single enchantment. With 3 generous visitors, this is nuts. Like, is this good? How many sagas do we have? Not enough. I don't think we want 4 emergence though, do we? I guess maybe. Yeah, we don't even, like, the geothermal's nuts, but we don't even want it here. Another Tales of Master Sashiro? Yeah, we want that. Okay. So call me crazy, but I think I'm cutting the Invoke the Winds. And the majority of these blue cards, even though these ones... I mean, the Hacker and the Modern Age are, yes, enchantments, but I don't think they're good enough on a weird splash like this. And the Hacker we'd want to be ninjutsuing anyways, right? I mean, I know that Geothermal Kami is kind of like casting another enchantment because I can rebuy one of the other ones, but... What's my... 16? Yeah, so I think I'm going to cut those. And cut the Geothermal, and maybe go like this. Triple Generous Visitor, 14 enchantments. Or we could even run this Favor of Jukai, actually. That's so many 4-drops, though. Hmm. Free Generous Visitor. That Modern Age, it speaks to me. Just don't know if it makes sense. Is 14 enchantments enough? I mean, it's a lot of enchantments, but all of them are like 4 pluses here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them cost 4 or more, which is pretty awkward. But hey, I think we roll with it. We'll get the Haven in. We're gonna add like 4 islands, 5 islands maybe. And then the rest just green, green, green. Okay, basically mono green here. Mono green enchantments. Let's give it a rumble. This is, yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy looking. But much excite is happening. For all the people that were complaining about me drafting nothing but like 5-color green decks, I uploaded a black-white video yesterday, and it was a funny one. Go watch that if you haven't already. Okay, on the draw here, round 1, and what is this hand? Not great is what it is. It's okay. I'll keep it, but we don't have any of our generous visitors. I'm actually gonna hold the why does this show phases button here? I'm gonna hold the Fang of Shigeki in case I draw my one of my generous visitors, because it would only be poking in for a couple points of damage anyways. That might have been the turn I wanted to play it, because I'm planning on using the Tanuki channel next turn, but looks like the opponent's not doing anything. Alright. Guess we're just gonna get our Tales of Master Sashiro online. I probably should have played out the Fang 2 turns ago, I guess, because if I'm gonna play a Tales of Master Sashiro next turn, I don't have a creature. Oh, new game plan, actually. We are going to Completion the Plains. Effectively stone raining it. And that means we also get to play out our Shigeki in the process, so that was very good for us. Love doing that. Okay. Oh, they can bounce their emergence. Boo. Damn. Well, they had the way to neuter it. Those aren't generous visitors either. Alright, well, let's just start playing out our tails. We need to get them online eventually. Need to get a 5/5 suspend online here, makes sense. I'm gonna take 6 this turn. I guess I could trade, but then I lose value on that other 1/1 counter. We'll see. I guess we're gonna discard a card here, and then plan on discarding again next turn. I don't think I can sack the Fang. It's a decent hit. Let's see if they block. Would make sense for them to block now. I mean, it's a 3/3. Although, if they did, then I wouldn't play out a creature and make their long reach of night pour. Alright, what we're gonna do here is, I think, just grab, like, Careful Cultivation, and then plan on discarding it to the long reach of night. Okay. It's gonna be a problem in a few turns. Alright, we get a 5/5 here. Let's go Communing. Nice. Alright, let's pressure. Sadly, I don't get to hold open my Master's Rebuke here. If we did, it would be pretty damn brutal, I think, but I'm expecting them to double block my forest. Yep. Let's kill the 4/3. I mean, they still took a good amount of damage. I probably need to save the Rebuke for when their Boseiju flips, right? And I can hopefully kill it with the Fang of Shigeki plus the Rebuke. Looks like this is a manual tap to cast Emergence on one of their lands. I mean, I do want to get the Rebuke online. Sorry, the Tails online, but I think we're just going to play the Shrine and pass here. I don't love my position. Repel the Vial. Yep. I'm glad they're doing that now. Hopefully my Rebuke resolves then. Okay. Big Flying Forest. Well, they don't have a way to give that haste, so I think that was probably a mess up. Last card is a Tales of Master Seshiro. Alright, so now we will get to punch. Could double block that with the Steward and the Fang. But well, I can double block. And kill the branch. Shoot that, do that. It's kind of problematic for me though. Yeah, I think I actually do need to block like this, sadly. This is going to be a close game, but I think they're a little bit ahead. So I take 9 if they attack with both. Okay, just taking 4. Both of their sagas are going to flip next turn, though. That might be the biggest issue, of course. I guess let's get the shrine up. Because as a 6/6, it blocks all of their ground creatures now. And it will continue to grow. Plus it has trample. Well, that seems like an unfortunate draw for us. Alright, that'll do it. Actually, I could double block the menace creature, because that's going to be lethal next turn otherwise. Oh, no. But then I lose to the flyer standalone. Alright. Well, this is all bad. Yeah, that fade into antiquity was too much. I don't think we have any outs. I'm gonna go to 4 here. Oh, that won't do it. GG's. Yeah. Brutal. Let's see. I think I made the right play. Completion their land, but then they had the geothermal to buy it back. Maybe not getting the other Tales of Master Seshiro online earlier was the mistake. don't know if we had a good time to do that, though. I don't know. But you know what we can blame? We can blame not seeing any of our 3 generous visitors somehow. We saw the Kami, but no Jenny. Let's draw. Let's go turn 1 generous visitor, turn 2 generous visitors just one time. Even if I lose. The fear of that start from the opponent would be pretty funny. Would be pretty funny to do. Again! Never lucky. We can always have our 1 Fang of Shigeki and 1 Greater Tanuki. I guess on the play I'll play this. Might get in for a few points of damage. Alright, turn 1 Shigeki, Fang. Turn 2 Cultivation. And go ahead and go for the turn 3 Emergence, I guess. It won't be able to attack, but... Oh, now you want to show up? Let's offer... no, let's not offer the trade. Well, now we'll wait until next turn to cast the Emergence, because it wouldn't be able to attack that last turn anyways. And now we can start getting some extra counters. Played out there, Iganjo, huh? Let's target the Fang of Shigeki. Generous Visitor is already going to be annoying for them. Sure. I've been crabbed. I mean, the fact that they're playing the Iganjo out means they didn't have many lands, right? Oh. They must have just drawn that. That's pretty awkward. Sure. Surprising target for the Fang. Or for the completion, but I'm alright with that. Behold the Unspeakable. That's a pretty good card. I take 3 here. Well, this game's also looking very bad for us already. Behold the Unspeakable, also known as Behold the Unbeatable. Double top. They like what they saw. Cute thing I can do with the Mind Link mech is crew it with the Generous Visitor, and then if I cast an enchantment, I get 2 1/1 counters. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, saw that one coming. I don't know what our best draw is, but I hope I draw it. Bearer of Memory. That's probably not awful. Let's go ahead and make that play. And let's put them both on the Tanuki. Because now if they want to kill the Tanuki, they have to block with all 4 of their creatures. And while it looks like it's really bad for them, it's actually not that bad, right? They're effectively only trading 2 cards away. And, they got scry value from the Imperial Oath. I do lose 1 creature, but I also lose 2 effective +1/+1 counters in a sense, so... I would say that's pretty even overall, but the Behold the Unspeakable is pushing them way ahead. Just because of the raw card value. Card advantage. But yeah, any enchantment at this point is a decent draw. Yep, great. So again, copy the Generous Visitor. We'll start putting counters on our other. They played out their land, which tells me they have the 4 damage intervention, so they're gonna intervention. Oh, they have Wrath. They have Farewell. Yep, they're attacking and then they're gonna Farewell, 100%. Alright, I'll trade. I would never make that trade if it wasn't so blatantly telegraphed. Come on. There you go. Oh, baby! That's awesome. Love it. Not the best combo with Farewell, but they didn't have to exile their graveyard for it. They just had to exile... Yeah, I mean... Sure. Obviously, we can't beat those. Good stuff. Well, I'm happy for the opponent. We did get crushed there. And I am going the wrong direction. If this is another 0-3... After yesterday's 0-3... Well... Maybe that'll silence the haters. The haters jinxed me. Kenji, why do you only upload your 7 winners? Because I only win! And then look at me now. A shell of myself. A shell of my former self. Okay, we'll win a couple. Just a couple. That's... We can't have back-to-back 0-3s. People might start thinking that they're just like me. Ha 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 ha. Our last 0-3 uploaded was black-white. The deck was good. If you watched yesterday's draft, I think the deck was good. Just maybe ran a little bit poorly. This one maybe not so good. What's it? It's missing removal, right? This one has completion, a Master's Rebuke. Is that it? 2 removal spells? But we have 3 Generous Visitors. Put one in my opening hand for once. Thank you. Okay. I don't have any enchantment that I can cast early. But we drew one of our Generous Visitors for turn 1. Oh, actually, no. This is kind of like we have 2 Generous Visitors. Right, we have the... Yes! Look at this! I don't really care if they use a removal spell on this. Okay. This is the game we're going to curve out with crazy cards. And remember, same thing with like Generous Visitor. The Mind Link mech can get counters if it was copying the Kami, but it looks like the opponent just has removal for them all. So the Kami, remember, cannot crew. I guess we'll take this. channel it and start smashing in the air. Two removal spells was kind of annoying, and I don't have a way to get rid of the arrest. Right? I don't have a Fade into Antiquity. I will take 4 and I will like it. I will take 3 and you gain 3? Yes, I will take 3 and you gain 3 and I will like it. Land there was great. Now we can... Emergence. Through. Smash for 8. Ooh. And all of a sudden, things are looking bleak. 4/3 lifelinker is giving me the business here. So we're gonna get the Tales of Master Sashiro online. And we might be trading with that that ambusher now. Wow. Gross. Yeah, they've had too much removal for me. Gross, gross, gross. I'm feeling like an 0-3. I do. I feel it coming. Back to 19, huh? Okay, well actually... This is not the worst. We're gonna have a 5/5 Vigilance next turn. We're gonna get another 5/5 Vigilance the turn after that. I mean, they still have 5 spells in their hand, so it's not like I'm in good shape, but... Oh, goody. Have some kind of removal, huh? Oh, do they have Farewell? I'm just gonna attack for 10 and see what they do. Oh. Okay, never mind. They don't have Farewell. Phew! We want to put this on the Living Legacy, because it's an enchantment creature, so our bearer can give it trample next turn. I mean, we have a lot of pressure next turn. Oh no. They do have Farewell? Oh. Wait, what? I'm confused. Why did they attack? I guess they're not planning on blocking with it, but... Wait, this is lethal. Oh, I can't target that. Haha, it's not lethal. But I can give my creature into... Or sorry, I can give my Living Legacy trample to get through for a couple points of damage. I guess maybe I should have attacked the bear. Oh, you know what? I should have just played out the Tanuki. I punted there. I got in for 3 extra points of damage, but instead I could have had a 6/5 Trampler online. That's bad. Is it game over? I guess it is, because the trample. They have to put way too much toughness in front of all of my enchantment creatures, and I don't think they have enough, right? Yeah. Doesn't matter which one I put it on either. Okay. Well, we won a game. Whew. Breathe a sigh of relief. I don't think I played that well, though. I should have played out the Tanuki the turn previously instead of pumping. Kind of forgot that their Kami wasn't going to die, if I'm being honest. Alright, 1 and 2. Come on, come back. Yes, we got the same draw again. Turn 1 Visitor, turn 2 Kami, and then do nothing for a little while. But hopefully we draw something to do. Okay. Well, that gives me blue, which in fact does give me something to do, in essence. Hey, 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 hey. We might be casting this Careful Cultivation out. Careful Cultivation puts 2 1/1 counters on my creatures. As well as, oh, well, not anymore. I was gonna say, as well as, letting my Kami ramp. We still might cast the... Yeah, alright. I guess we're just gonna channel it and then cast our Tales of Master Seshiro next turn and start buffing our Kami. I'm a little bit scared of some ninja action going on, but there's not much I can do about it. Okay, they don't have any hackers or whatever. It's fine. Sure. They're just gonna run out a bunch of dorky creatures, we can beat that. Hopefully. Hopefully. Please don't kill my Kami. So next turn, we're gonna buff up our Kami. Oh, that's scary. Alright, I'll take it. So, the question is, why would the 2/2 attack and not the 1/1, you know? We have some nonsense here that's gonna get me. Huh. I'm lightweight confused at what's going on. I think now if they attack with the trainee, I will block. Because if they have the +3/+3, it's a trade. Okay, so it might be Boon of Boseiju. I'm blocking now. Yep, it is the +3/+3. Yep, alright. Good, good. And we're still in good shape here. I could hit them to 1 if I complete their 1/1 token, but I don't think that's worth. I think we'll just smash with all. They'll probably bounce or jump in front of the 5/5. Take 3, go to 6, and then we're gonna pump up our shrine at end of turn. Bah. Oh, did they draw a ninja this time? Hacker? Bounce the companion would be pretty good. I don't think there's a way they can kill me with a ninja. They could do like 7 if they had the 6/5, but... Oh, I see. So we are going to definitely use completion on that before it deals damage. And that way it doesn't get to eat my 5/5 there. Did not, in fact, draw lethal. But they have to chump. Take 4, go to 2. So we should be looking pretty good. And if they do have the 6/5, it doesn't kill me. That doesn't bounce anything. So they have to... Nope, they're exactly dead here because of the trample from the brine. They go chump chump, but they take minimum 1 trample and then 1 from the unblocked. Ooh, salvage! He's alive! 2 and 2. All right. Come on, baby. We've had turn 1 Generous Visitor, turn 2 Kami of Transience, and we've been really close to losing both these last 2 games. I mean, the opponents have had good interaction to stop it, but... just give me an easy game. Give me that Generous Visitor into 2 Generous Visitors on the play. And then turn 3, I play like... I don't know. Some enchantment. Name an enchantment and let me cast it while I have 3 Generous Visitors. Or turn 1 Generous Visitor, turn 2 Generous Visitors, turn 3 Mind Link Mech, turn 4 crew the mech with 1 Generous Visitor, play an enchantment, have 4 triggers because I have 4 Generous Visitors. Easy money. Easy money, honey. Matchmaker, matchmaker. Really good at drawing that Fang of Shigeki. Yeah, I'm on the draw. This is fine to keep. It's not a great hand, but... Hello, indeed. Okay, I'll run it out. If we run into a Life of Toshiro, we're gonna cry. Automaton's kind of good. No! I knew that was gonna happen! Oh, I really, really lose to a Life of Toshiro. And I need to hit a land next turn. Come on, baby. Okay. That mono black artifacts, huh? Yes, got the land. Alright. And now another land next turn as well. I'm gonna buff the visitor, I guess. If they have Life of Toshiro, they would have cast it last turn. They could still draw it, but... Now I guess it's more likely they have like a lethal exploit. So... The Fang of Shigeki is already annoying enough for them. Virus Beetle. I need to like discarding our 5-drop or our blue card. I have 5 blue sources and 6 blue sources in the deck because I have the grafted growth. We'll just discard the 5-er. Okay. And maybe there's some amount of merit to holding open the Jukai Preserver activation, but meh. Oh, now they're gonna have Twisted Embraces and stuff. Actually, you know what? How do I not have a Tamio safekeeping in this deck? I'm like mono green. That's the biggest surprise, maybe. No Tamio. 3 Generous Visitors, not a single safekeeping. Exile and Enchantment. Alright, Fang of Shigeki, you done your job. I'll take 3 if they attack with the Automaton this turn. Hey, we got there. So I want to lead with the mech. And that way I can still put a counter on my shrine at end of turn. So it's effectively playing an enchantment there, in a sense. Oh, this is tutoring for Twisted Embrace 100%, right? Or Tamiyo's completion, same thing, yeah. Bleh. Alright, let's crew and do what we do. I'm gonna put one on the... Well, I guess let's just put it on the visitor. And one on the shrine. And this, I think, we're gonna put on itself. I think they're probably going to completion my Mindlink mech. I'd be a little bit surprised if they did it to the shrine. Oh, okay. That is a surprise. Very interesting. So maybe they already have an answer. Let's pressure. Yeah, let's go big on this boy. Because now they have to double block with Shrine Steward and Automaton if they want to trade with the Preserver. We're doing it. We're believing. Yeah. I mean, I can understand why they locked down the shrine, but it felt like the mech was the more relevant card. Just because it was giving me another generous visitor, in essence. I don't even think they can attack here, even though they have a 5/5 Automaton now. Are we very ballsy, yeah. Land's good, that lets me... Whoa, almost messed up. Crew again first. Fails. Gotta pump the land once. Let's give... Preserver twice? We can just go all in on the flyer if we really want to. I mean, there's not a bad option here. Looks like they're just in Chumpsville, though. Alright. That turn they should have double blocked with the Automaton too, but it probably didn't matter at this point. Woo! Starting to believe! But we cannot regain our lost rank. Powerful. 0-2 into 3-2? Okay, at this point, you know, I think I'm happy. Even if we go 3-3 here, at least we salvaged a couple of wins. We got to do some silly things with Mindlink Mech, Generous Visitor. Kami of Transient, sadly, wasn't the all-star we wanted it to be. But now it's time to just grind. Anything at this point is gravy. The gravy train, you know? Easy peasy, baby. Instance. As the format progresses, as we move into like a month or two into the format, We will, or I will start uploading some other content as well. What that may be, I am not 100% sure. But it will not all exclusively be draft. Although the majority of what I upload will be limited, of course. Blech. Well, we're going to draw a Generous Visitor off the top. I lied. The worst part about this commune is that it doesn't hit Generous Visitor or Kami of Transience. Oh my god! Well, very, very, very low odds of completely bricking. In fact, that is absurd. Wait a minute. How many hits do... I think I'm gonna trade here. It had like 14 lands it can hit, and then I have like 14 enchantments in my deck, right? I had 3 of them in my hand. So 11 plus 4... It had 25 hits. It had 25 hits in like 31 cards. And 4 of the non-hits were on top. If my math is right. That's insane. Alright. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Looks like they're gonna cast a 4-drop here. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, they can still equip afterwards. That's a lot of 1/1s, damn. I'm still reeling. We're gonna shuffle some of those back. Guess I'll grab another island, but there's not really a need to. Alright, 4/5s with Vigilance. Let's go. Wonder why they have so many Searchlight Companions in their deck, and they're green-black. That might be that they're just short on playables. I mean, maybe they have some black ninjas. I guess they could have Kappas and stuff as well, but... Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna keep playing 4/5s with Vigilance and Haste. Alright, so they can shoot off this forest. They should be waiting until after damage. So if I have a pump effect, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. That would happen in either case, no. Disregard me. What do we want to grab with Shrine Stewie? Guess we'll find out. Whoa! Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. You know what? I think I actually get this Tales of Sashiro online. It means they, unless they draw something they can't attack, and it gives me a 5/5 in a couple of turns, which can also stop the 4/5s. I don't care if they keep drawing trainees, that card's irrelevant. I guess it's safest to grab a completion here. I really don't want to have to... I'm at 12 still. Yeah, we're probably just going to complete one of their 4/5s. What did they give them? Both Vigilance? Okay. Awkward thing is they're going to have a good double block. But I need to push through. Yep, this is their good double block. I'd be very surprised if they didn't throw one of the 1/1s in front. Well, they didn't though. Alright. I mean, that way they can save it for... Oh, no, I guess that makes sense. Because now, in theory, they'd be able to triple block the Living Legacy, but now that we have the Bearer... They just have a couple bricks in their hand, we're actually fine. The nicest thing about having counters from our Life of Toshiro on this particular forest. Because I have a couple... wait, no. I guess I have one more emergence. We can resuit up this same forest, and it's going to be another 6-7 again. That was an unfortunate draw step for us. Yikes. Okay, well, take it. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I have to attack with both here. I lose to a removal spell, but I'm losing the flyers anyways, so force them to do something. 100% the right play. Okay. Well, they're dead on board, so let's go for it, baby. I guess we want to pump the shrine here. I'll just pump the bearer itself. Makes sense. Phew! Ooh, well, good thing I went for the win and not just to survive, because yikes, that could have been bad. Alright, slowly inching back. Give it to me. We are gonna take these wins. We started off 0-2, but that was just a ruse. A fake, a psych out. You thought I was gonna lose again, didn't you? Well, you were probably right. In a very, very similar world. But not today. Come on, put me on the play. Give me the generous. That's all I'm going to talk about. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I am just out of whack currently. What is this garbage? I can't keep this. Wow. Well, looks like we might have a problem. I do have a generous visitor into the Fang of Shigeki though, so maybe there's a small chance. But a mulligan to 5 on the play is not where you want to be, obviously. Okay, well, at least we're gonna cast Emergence on curve 2. Yeah, blocking. I cannot beat removal. If they just have some random like Kami Flare type stuff, like we're in real bad shape. Oh, you know what? If I draw a land next turn for Tales of Master Sashiro, maybe we can still win this. Oh, well, that's pretty bad. Time Walk that kills my 4/5. That's what that Moon Snare Specialist was. Okay, well I like seeing cards like Aki Ronin, because that card is completely irrelevant. Oh no. And they have a crab in their hand too, right? Oh, that's what they have, because they didn't use the Shrine's ability. I mean, all these cards are not doing anything, but... Okay, well, there's a relevant card now. I think the only way I can win is by going all in. Oops. I meant to attack there. Because they only had 5 power. I had, what was it, a 4/6? I missed an attack. Inada. Mind Link mech, okay. Why do I mean, they have more raw cards than I do, but it doesn't even feel like we're in that bad of a position. Completion can kill to behold the unspeakable. Oh shoot. They're gonna kill me in like 2 hits. The vision crewing the Mind Link mech makes it an 8 power. Oh yeah, never mind. We're just like dead here. Good beats. Don't know if missing my attack for 4 is gonna end up mattering. Just way too many raw cards. What can you do? We did as well as we could on a mulligan to 5, I'll say. Looks like they have a completion too. GG's. I did miss an attack there, no doubt about it, but don't think it mattered. Yeah, if we had not mulliganed to 5 on that turn that we drew Shrine Steward, had I been able to play the Tales of Master Sashiro, I think we might have won that. Well, I mean, even with the mulligan to 5, drawing a land instead of Shrine Steward, we slam the Tales of Master Sashiro. We make a like 7/7 visitor, get to attack with it. Our Tails flips a turn earlier. We still get to make another attack the next turn. I mean, obviously a mulligan to 5 is not going to do it, but hey, like I said, after starting 0-2, I'm not upset going 4-3. And this deck was, I mean, 3 generous visitors and a Kami of transients, but sadly, I don't think it was all that great. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you back tomorrow.